So just by leaving the computer running in your house, you can now earn income. You're literally turning electricity into money. This is how bitcoins are releasing it.
Man, break that back a little bit.
It sound like some hacking shit, but it's just like waiting on. I get what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, it's like for real, though. It's like
right. You look at the Dr. Sabi case, for example, where he got caught with what, 10,000? It's anywhere between $10,000 to $30,000 in cash that he was stopped for. Yeah. He could have had that in Bitcoin, right? And he'd still be alive. No one is going to look through his phone for his Bitcoins. Right? You need a nerd in your crew in 2018, 2019. You got to have a nerd in your crew, a tech in your crew.
So we're going to bring our first guest up, and that's going to be Mr. Owo. Mr. Money Man himself.
Look, first I want to say thank you very much for the opportunity for this discussion. It's really, really cool to have folks in your space that are willing to, invite the techies to the table and say, let's see what some legitimate opportunities and options are. So really, thank you for that.
I'm glad to have you on here because in today's society, we need techies. I'm still a little old school, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, I'm still iffy about fucking with apps like Cash Apps or Bitcoins and stuff like that because to me the game is still new.
True.
I mean it's not new, but it is in the sense of I be worried about hackers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I have a certain amount of money and I'm getting it, and all of a sudden they take my bitcoins and shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, so that's what I be worried about. So, how for people like me that have those kind of concerns, like what would you say? Like how would you make them feel a little more at ease in that kind of situation?
Well, hopefully telling you that Bitcoin is absolutely unhackable. Right now, if you wanted to hack Bitcoin, you'd have to generate the power of 3 suns. That's just the computation power that you'll need to be able to hack the system, and you're only going to be able to fool the system for 10 minutes.
Damn.
Okay. So how was how do you relate? I guess Bitcoin to the gray area that is I-71.
Nice. Well, so DC has the biggest opportunity as far as the cannabis industry is concerned. Everybody nationwide knows this, right? I mean, you have folks coming from all parts of the country to get a piece of the DC pie, right? Now, where it's going, where I see the benefits, it's going to be 2 parts. One, in just your be it merchandising or branding. There's some really cool things that you can do to just give yourself a competitive edge.
Gotcha.
Right. The second part is that you don't have the risk of cash. Right. If you're concerned that some folks you don't want to come into your establishment, usually they'll take the weed and the cash. Yeah. Right. But at least with Bitcoin, if everybody's been paying you in some various of cryptocurrency, they may touch the weed, but they're not touching the crypto.
Right. So your cash is safe.
Your cash is good.
It's not in the same place.
So So this is the way that how they about to get the cards into it.
Exactly.
It's all cash profit.
Yeah. Right. So the opportunity that the techies can present to actually move the conversation forward on the politics side is to say, okay, cool, look, we know that y'all want to collect taxes, right? But here is the technology that we can use to make sure that without a doubt you're getting your cut.
Right.
Now, on the backside of things, the vendors, there's a huge opportunity here to actually play the money game a little bit differently.
Right.
Because there are already cannabis coins. There's pot coin, there's dope coin, there's there's pot coin, dope coin, and cannabis coin. These are all cryptocurrencies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Some of them are trading at under a penny. You could probably pull them up, right? So if collectively y'all all of a sudden decided to say we're going to support one cryptocurrency, right, and on the hush hush you bought up a few. And then the news gets out that a collective of vendors in Washington, D.C. is using this particular cryptocurrency. What's going to happen in the markets? Right? You're already sitting on 100,000 pot coin. You're already sitting on 100,000 pot coin. Right? Just like that, overnight, this is how, the super wealthy get super wealthy.
They playing that money game for real.
For real.
Yeah.
Right? And this is something that can be done without any, you don't have to worry about any products, any this, any that. You got internet connection and you just buy some cryptocurrency.
So now, would this also... So DC has what it's called, we can give shit away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's legal for us to give weed away or whatever. So would this be a way to also use as a bypass to have a person pay for a product up front, meaning like a shirt or some sort of, lighter or whatever, and they pay with a cryptocurrency, and then they could pick up their free gift with no fear of repercussion from the law?
Yeah, very, very true, right? I even say go one step further and just eliminate the merchandise, period. Right, because that merchandise is overhead. The sweater, the lighter, all
Right,
that is
because you have to
overhead.
pay for it, yeah.
Right. Now, my cryptocurrency, if you decided to say, okay, look, rather than buying a sweater or a t-shirt, just buy $40 in my crypto, and you get the gift, right? I can, you had a conversation last week about a festival that you want to put together.
Right.
So what would be a good number for the festival to make it happen?
Ooh, to make it happen how I want it to happen?
Yeah.
At least 10. At least 10. To do it the right way,
Yeah.
to have DC look nice, at least 10.
All right. So right now, I could say, okay, cool, I'm going to give you that number in my crypto.
Uh-huh.
Right? All the vendors that are deciding, okay, we're going to use OWO as in place of stickers and T-shirts, they have to come get it from you, right? So that becomes an easy way overnight for you to get that 10,
Right.
right? And then the vendors in turn are just giving it out to folks who are
So you
buying it.
actually just say, instead of like you said, paying for overhead or little gadgets to actually sell, because you got to shell out some sort of coins anyway.
Yeah.
You're actually just buying cryptocurrency that you already
Got for
Exactly.
real, yeah.
Right, and the folks who get the crypto, the customers, they can then come use it on OWO to do cool things. They can use it to play games. They can use it to win products and other things.
Right.
So
Right.
once you get them, all right. So we say if you start using them and you got your own store, can you go back to the cash?
Yeah. Whenever you want.
Or how do you even cash out? Just to even
Yeah.
ask that question, can you cash out?
All right, so the customer is giving you the cash. Anyway.
Right.
You just giving them the OWO.
Right. Okay. Oh,
Right?
so
So you're getting cash,
Right from them.
follow suit.
Yeah.
right? You're just
that's
eliminating
sweet,
the
though.
overhead.
It
That's
is.
it.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It is. No, it is sweet, because all jokes aside, if you're really listening and paying attention to what he's saying right now, we have to take advantage of this social media industry along with the cannabis game as well, man, or anything else. It's not just subject to cannabis, you know what I'm saying? But anything you're trying to do, take advantage of these cryptocurrencies that we have going on, because it's legal right now, you know what I'm saying? And it's a form of transaction without actually being traced to what you're actually fucking doing. Am I right in saying that?
There's some cryptocurrencies that you can use that are completely untraceable, right? Like a while ago, you heard the news when 50 Cent said he sold his album way back for
I'm
some
about to
Bitcoin.
say that they gain value over time.
Right.
too.
Yeah, right. And then he wasn't supposed to say that because he had that case, whatever. And then a couple of days later, you saw Tony Yayo wearing a Monero T-shirt. Right, Monero is another cryptocurrency that is completely anonymous.
Yeah.
Right, this entire room could be filled with all types of agencies. I'll send it to you, and they'll never be able to know that I just sent it to you.
Right.
That's
Right.
sweet.
Now, let's say that you had a strain that you just put together. Right, you can go through the process of trying to patent it to try to prove that you did it. Right, or you can just store that strain itself in a Bitcoin transaction to prove that this is yours. Right? It's a way of patenting it on the blockchain without going through the expense of actually patenting it.
Like old school patent when you mail something to yourself.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's important to know that the number one problem that the Bitcoin technology solves is it makes anything digital. It prevents it from being copied.
Gotcha.
Right. So you can't have a digital fake of something.
Right.
That changes everything. Anything that used to be on paper can now be digital. Your driver's license, your passport,
It's
the title to your
practically
house,
is.
this, to that.
Yeah. Everything's. I see in the near future, maybe 5-10 years from now, that cash ain't even gonna be like, who's gonna use cash?
China is definitely way ahead of that because, I mean, you hear it on the news quite a bit. They're leading the quote-unquote cashless revolution.
I mean, look at what we talking about now. We talking about cryptocurrency. You know what I'm saying? Everything's done that way now. Cash App, PayPal, credit cards. I mean, sometimes people don't even want to take your cash.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like do you have a card or can you pay this? Like, you know what I'm saying? So My feeling over time, cash. I'm still old school in that way, where I'd rather deal in that fashion.
Valid.
Because I appreciate the privacy that comes with that as well.
True that.
But and that's what I see as far as like what's going on with currency in particular. Period. Heading into the future, how can you have privacy when everything you do is open to, the whole world, pretty much?
Well, to an extent, almost anything you do, all the transactions you do on the Bitcoin blockchain, you will have some various of privacy, right? They have your Bitcoin address, but they don't know it's you.
Right.
Unless you specifically gave somebody out your Bitcoin address. Simply because we're having this conversation and you decide, sure, I'm going to go crypto, there's some other things that you should know depending on how deep you are in the game and depending on how much privacy you want to keep to yourself, right? So there's some added information that needs to go along with this, right? Now, I understand your old school angle. It's like the Jamaicans say, one man, one spliff, and they're not changing that at all.
Right. I mean, real shit though, man.
Right.
The smaller you keep the circle, the better it is for you.
Right. But there's a bit of an economic detriment to that, where it's not just you that says that, but it's also several people who have influence in the community as well. Right, because when the internet first came about, I don't know how active our parents were in it. My mother wasn't that active in it, and so she missed out on the Yahoo IPO, the Google IPO, the Facebook IPO, the this, the that. When it was really just information, the internet started right up the street in Virginia. There's no way at all we should.
I understand that completely, and that's what I feel is happening right now. We're at that turn in the century where if you don't hop on now, you're gonna get left behind. And that's how I feel what's going on now. So, those are my old school ways, but I'm trying to change because I know it's coming. Yeah. It's a train that can't even be stopped. You know what I'm saying? So you either get with it or you're going to get left behind.
Yeah, I mean, with the age of self-driving cars, you can go to Mars in 30 days. It's not weird that your money is different.
Right. So, I mean.
You got,
what I like about it now, though, I mean, what I don't like what's happening now is that your information is being sold, whether you like it or not.
True that.
Whether you're dealing with crypto or whether you're dealing with your IG or Facebook, if you somehow connected to any of those kind of things, your information is being sold. I don't care what you're being told. That's the fucked up fact about anything, right?
Very true.
So knowing that, you might as well take advantage of the game, like what you're talking about right now. So we might as well make it or help it work for the people that's trying to. Yeah. Help the brand up. You know what I'm saying? If you got a brand, you're trying to stand out above the crowd and you're trying to make things work, you could do it legally in a way. You know what I'm saying? Or without being prosecuted for what you're trying to do. Yeah. And what you're telling me now is with cryptocurrency, that's more possible now than ever. Yeah.
Especially how fast you have to move, man. There has to be a cannabis entity in the Washington, D.C. area that becomes $1 billion startup within the next 2-3 years simply because of the competition that's going to be coming in.
Oh, yeah.
When the Coca-Colas come in, the health, the this or that. If you do not have at least one established company that you've built on your, to play a part in the lobby and to play a part in this, that, and the other, then, everybody's going to get the short end of the stick. Now, there's an opportunity for a whole bunch of people to get bought out, to become mega millionaires, to get bought out by these companies, right? But you are going to have to go the extra mile of giving yourself a competitive advantage where you are a mega $1 million brand.
Yeah. I mean, if not, you're going to get swallowed up or bought out.
Yeah.
So someone in the chat says, Underground Organic says, China has a social credit or something like that.
Yeah. All right. If you're a good citizen, that's your credit score.
What do you mean?
Like they got cameras all over the place.
China, right?
Yeah. If they catch you picking up trash, that helps your credit score.
Are you fucking? How do you?
They travel from city to city, and your credit score low.
Yeah. If you got bad credit, you can't take the fast train. You can't take the best airplane. Yeah. It's going to take you 2 days to go around the block.
Hold up, man. So how do they know that's you
they got cameras
when they
all
catch
over
you
the place,
picking
man.
up the trash?
They got cameras all over the place.
Faces, so it's
they ahead of us, cuz. They ahead of us. And they with that technology shit. They way ahead of us.
So they go by your. So in other words, they kind of try to. So are they trying to promote you to be a good citizen?
Yeah. So a docile, obedient citizen.
So what if? So what?
They control everything.
So what if you give $1 to somebody that's panhandling? Is that credit?
That's going to help your credit. You're a good person.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, see, cause that's almost like a catch-2-11, right? You kind of promoting the motherfucker to panhandle. So how does that work?
Like they have part of the system is other citizens can also recommend you. Like this person did a good deed, and that helps grow your
I mean, I don't know.
credit.
I don't want to knock them. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's working for them. The people in China don't give a fuck.
Hey man, you got to keep 1 billion people in line.
They
You know.
give a fuck. They silence you quick. they fan rap out there.
Yeah, that's fucked up. But what? Oh, hold up, man. That's Gangnam Style, man.
That's who?
Gangnam Style, whatever the fuck.
Condom style.
I'm not Chinese, dog. Whatever that shit. I don't know, yeah. Gangnam Style, whatever. They banned that nigga.
Nah, help. That ain't rap. That nigga singing. That's some pop shit.
I thought that was like Chinese rap or something, man.
That's some Chinese rap that was coming out that was revolutionary.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that's because they trying to talk against the government. You know, they don't play that shit,
Nah, they're not
man.
having that.
They gonna get you out the way.
Yeah.
One government, one political party. That's it.
They must have forgot about Yemen Square.
True that.
Hey, somebody. So Underground Organic also says that China, your score affects your housing areas or whatever. It affects how you're living.
That's here, ain't it?
Right. Hey, Underground Organics. Now we still talk about China or America. I kind of feel like it's kind of the same shit. For
that part. But picking up trash and shit, nah, we ain't getting that.
Nah. No matter how much that help your credit, some cats ain't gonna do that.
But I mean, as far as all right, let's get back to the crypto, right? So it's cryptocurrency. Selling weed with crypto or whatever. But on some like,
This is pretty good.
let's just say a random person wanted to start. You know what I'm saying? They grew something, got about 10 pounds, and they want to start their brand, and they want to use crypto in that road, you know, to lead them in that light. How would they start? You know, what would they do? What would the process be?
All right, so number one is just going to be knowing your customers, right? Simply because you decided to accept crypto doesn't mean that everybody, most of your current customer base likely doesn't participate in it, and so on and so forth, right? But the college students who are hip about it, right? The hidden gem about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is called mining, the mining process. This is how coins are released into circulation.
Digging.
Right? So you have college students that'll just plug in a little computer that does nothing but solve algorithms. When I send you a Bitcoin transaction, that transaction is going to be encrypted. The first computer to crack that encryption gets rewarded with the transaction fee. So just like if you swipe your Visa, you pay the 2% transaction fee to Visa or whatever. Instead of it going to a bank, that transaction fee is going to go to it's going to go to the person whose miner solved that transaction.
Okay.
So just by leaving the computer running in your house, you can now earn income. You're literally turning electricity into money. This is how Bitcoins are releasing it.
Man, break that back a little bit.
It sound like some hacking shit, but it's just like waiting on. I get what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, it's like for real, though. It's like,
So
I get it.
So literally by just leaving this computer device running, you're good, right? And this is where anywhere that has cheap electricity, Washington D.C. is 13 cents per kilowatt hour. If you live in a military base, that's going to get subsidized. It's going to get cut half to like $6 cents per kilowatt hour. Louisiana has the second cheapest electricity in the country, but a lot of people down there aren't mining for some reason. Anywhere else, the white folk and the Asian folk are on it. Right. So if you know the college students are just using this device to now subsidize their income, then this is going to be your ideal customer base. Right. As long as you tell them all of a sudden that this person here accepts crypto, they will come to you.
That's very interesting. I just like how you could use crypto as a buffer.
Yeah.
In other words, as a buffer for you to try to do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? But pretty much, man, I'm not trying to get left behind.
True that.
No matter how much I might be stuck in my old ways, I'm not trying to get left behind. I'm also trying to take advantage of what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? Now, I definitely like the idea of crypto, but it's more research and study that has to go into it, man. Like you said, mining. I didn't even know that was a thing in there, mining and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, but for people that are getting into this, like, how do they cash out? Like how does that work? Does the actual crypto is the so if I wanted to buy if you wanted to buy a crypto from me or whatever, Bitcoin from me,
Okay.
and my Bitcoin was $500.
Okay.
When you pay that $500 goes directly to my bank account.
Okay.
Is that how it works?
Nah. So Bitcoin was created to eliminate banks.
Okay.
Right. It's specifically supposed to be me doing business directly with you. No
Okay.
third party, no middleman, nothing. Right. So you bought Bitcoin. Right now, 100% of a Bitcoin is $3,700. Right. It's divisible in 8 decimal places, so you could literally get 0.001% of a Bitcoin. So it's like 1 cent of a dollar is 1% of a dollar. 2 cents of a dollar is 2% of a dollar. Right. You can literally get 2% of a Bitcoin. Right. Which would be $60.
Okay.
Right? You don't have to buy the full $3,000. So if you bought $60 in Bitcoin right now, it's valued at $60, and then tomorrow it goes up. You have it now. You have $62 or $63. Right? I come to buy it from you. You're gonna be like, all right, give me 55.
Okay.
I'll give you the 65, but you're gonna give me 55 because you're gonna collect a 10% bump on that.
But how do I get the actual 55? Like the money? How do I actually get the money?
I will give you the cash, and you give me the Bitcoin.
No, I mean, but how do I get the cash part? Like, let's say you live in Cali and I live in
Bitcoin.
DC and we doing business.
Uh-huh.
How do I get the cash part? That's what I want to know. Like through PayPal or something. Yeah.
I'm giving you the cash. When I'm buying the Bitcoins from you, I'm giving you the cash.
Right.
And you're sending me the Bitcoin.
So giving me the cash, that means through whatever accounts or means that I might have,
cash
right?
in your hand. We don't want any third parties involved
Right.
in this. This is me doing business directly.
But
with you.
how would that work if you live on? Let's say you lived in Cali and I lived out here. Now, how would that work? We would have to actually meet somewhere.
Well, as long as that is somebody that you absolutely trust,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then you can do wire transfers. You can even send it in
MoneyGram
portions.
and shit.
Exactly. They're supposed to send you 500. You wire the first 100, you send 100 in Bitcoin. They wire the second 100. You don't just send the Bitcoin before they give you the cash.
Right.
All right, they send the cash first, then you send the Bitcoin.
And that's what I was getting at. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you get your part after you done what you do?
Don't do PayPal. If you're gonna do PayPal, they should send it as a gift because they can do chargebacks on PayPal. Right. I'm pretty sure they can do chargebacks on Cash. Well, Cash App doesn't even give you a Bitcoin address. So ideally, you want them to wire you the money so the cash is in your bank account in a way that they cannot take it back.
But not your bank account, right?
No, it should be your bank account if they're buying the Bitcoins from you.
But right, it's untraceable.
Well, that's why again, it's better if you just do it in person, face to face.
I got you.
Right.
To a certain extent, in other words, they may know that you bought Bitcoins, but they don't know what the Bitcoins were for.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying though. Like if they,
But
just
it
come
is
up
traceable
here,
to that point that they know where it actually landed
you
at.
just ain't gonna run up in that junk with 100 million Bitcoins. Like I'm checking
Exactly.
it out. Let me hurry up, come on, hurry up, get the fuck up out of here. You know, they gonna be on your line quick.
No, they're gonna have to put in a little bit more work. Just simply because I wired you $10,000 doesn't mean that it was for Bitcoins. Right?
Okay.
It could be for any other business purposes, right? You look at the Dr. Sabi case, for example, where he got caught with what 10,000. It's anywhere between $10,000 to $30,000 in cash that he was stopped for. He could have had that in Bitcoin. Right, and he'd still be alive. No one is going to look through his phone for his Bitcoins.
Right, I got you.
He
They
could have
would
been
look
doing
for
business
all
that
other
way,
shit.
in other words.
Yeah,
Exactly. Right, you need a nerd in your crew in 2018, 2019.
what?
You got
Now,
to have a nerd in
that.
your crew, a tech in your crew.
Now, people that are more interested in this and all that want to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you?
Just hit me up on IG. Owoman, OWOMAHN. Owo means money in Yoruba. So it literally just translates to money man. There's some really cool things that we're doing. Owo Music, where I actually show folks how to conceal Bitcoin in your music. So folks, they would have to actually listen to the lyrics to decode the Bitcoin in the lyrics, and they'll be able to get the Bitcoin that way. You can do it with film also.
damn.
That's
you,
cool.
you can hide Bitcoin throughout some scenes, and people will have to watch the movie to get the clues as to where the Bitcoins are.
Damn. Oh man. That mean you
Now,
gotta have some special things.
Again, man, I appreciate you coming through and letting us know about information like this. 'Cause, some people just need to know, man.
I'm your designated futurist, man. I'm the designated nerd, the designated techie.
And look, this ain't nothing that's far fetched because California is already starting this program.
Oh
right?
yeah, okay. Cali is way ahead of the game, man.
With the Bitcoins,
With Bitcoins, with crypto. As soon as they got that first down, they moved the cannabis lines. Now they're talking about microdosing and all the positive mental effects of psychedelics. So they're way ahead of the game.
So how you find out what movies or to watch or whatever? So you gotta go get in contact with them.
Now that'll be for new movie producers to start doing. No one's doing that yet, right?
Oh,
And that is
Had the Bitcoins in the
music,
movie.
the Bitcoins, fashion, clothing, and the packaging itself. And you can put a QR code right here on this. They scan it. They'll see a video of the entire growing process.
Right.
The entire seed to sale process is what California is working on now. Where from seed to sale, they'll track that entire process on the blockchain.
Yeah, I seen that. I did see
All
that.
right.
I did see that, but I seen it on the label.
But look, y'all, we're gonna take a hot 2-minute break, and we're gonna come back with our next great.
Yeah, thanks again
guys.
for this. I really
Thanks
appreciate
for coming
it.
through, man. Definitely, thanks for
no
coming
doubt.
through.
Hey.
All right.
More.
Heavenly Ocean. Girl Scout cookies.